Hello, it's Dr. Shelley. And so this video is to help you know how serious this is right now and how serious it's becoming in terms of whites only, blacks only, DEI, the new N-word, Jim Crow 2.0 headed to us really kind of quickly. 3 men born in South Africa under apartheid influence are bringing apartheid here to America. Let's just take a look at some of the things that have happened. Pseudofolliculitis barbae. What the fuck is that? Pseudofolliculitis barbae. What is that? Pseudofolliculitis barbae is hair bumps, razor bumps that primarily, but not 100%, but 99.9% of Black men get. Black men that get these razor bumps are now going to be facing new health guidelines for the United States Marines. Now, you might remember me telling you part of Project 2025 and part of the overall plan is to make the military all white. Well, they've started. They have started by implementing new health guidelines for the United States Marines, because the Marines are always first to invade or go on in a military exercise. They're always first boots on the ground. So what they're saying is that if you have razor bumps, then, we're going to have to watch you because it's inconsistent with serving the United States Marine. And indeed, it may be ultimately a reason why you may need to look for work elsewhere and not be a part of the Marines. Again, the only people that get razor bumps, for the most part, pseudofolliculitis barbae, because it's genetic, is going to be the Black male. How about that segregation attempt? That's so lovely. Let's move on. You already know about the Cancer Alley. I did think it was worth repeating because I have my students looking at some of this issue with Cancer Alley. I have my students looking at Aaron Brockovich to bring some limelight and some illumination to the key issue, which is that environmental justice. The Environmental Justice Department has been completely taken away, so that Cancer Alley, which is a 80-mile radius environment in, guess where? Louisiana. This whole 80-mile radius area is 92% Black and has 200 times cancer rates than anybody in the U.S. And of course, Cheeto Puff went ahead and dropped the lawsuit that President Biden had implemented, had started way back a year or so ago, and Cheeto Puff dropped it, just got rid of it. So those people have no recourse for the 200 plus corporations, oil refineries, plastics, chemicals that are just seeping into the water, the environment. It's so bad that you can feel the dust on your body as you walk through their area. When you go to the area where these people live, 92% again are Black. When you go there, your eyes are burning. You can feel it in your throat. It's pretty pervasive, this chemical influence and environmental poisons and toxins that are in their area. So just a reminder that lawsuit was dropped last week. Okay, now this week, it's the minor details, but it still is worthy of mentioning, because when you take someone's history and you try to bury it, then you are succeeding in not giving a people a chance to know where they came from and where they're going. I say that all the time. So this year, the Jackie Robinson, remember him? Jackie Robinson, baseball, first Black. Yeah, no. Yeah, well, he was also in the military. So any reference to him or Tuskegee Airmen and all these other stories that were attempted to be removed off the internet and the military history sites, they have tried to do that. They're getting a lot of flack back. Hopefully they'll put it back on, but you just need to know that these stories are being removed from the military websites, photos and everything else from the different walls along the Pentagon. removal of Black heroes in Arlington Cemetery. So the removal of Black hero memorials in the Arlington Cemetery, that's going real well. So that's another little issue. Let's talk prisons, the GO prisons specifically. GO prisons is a big privatized prison, and they have been closed down. Biden said you shouldn't be profiting off of prisoners. He closed it down. It's a big, huge prison in Michigan. It's been taken over, reopened for ICE to go ahead and take browns and blacks and deport them and put them in prison. Okay, so that's going to be a big deal in a minute. Now, in case you're thinking it's just him doing this stuff, you should know. Are you in New Orleans? Are you in Louisiana at all? Do you have cousins, friends, and family in New Orleans or Louisiana, anywhere in Louisiana? Here's the deal. They have 4 issues on the ballot. They are always trying to put issues on the ballot at a time when most people don't vote. Unfortunately, the southern states has about 30% Black, while the rest of us have 10 to 15%, and you guys don't vote. I'm telling you, it's your fault, whatever you get. So here's the deal in New Orleans or Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. I call it NOLA, but we're really talking about Louisiana state. The state of Louisiana is trying to have a law, and it's up to you, to try children as adults, okay? We already know that that's targeted towards Blacks. We know that, and browns. So with targeting children, with trying children as adults, and the privatizing of these prisons being reopened, these private prisons being reopened, and ICE trying to shove every Black and brown person in there and say that they're criminals when they aren't, this is going somewhere. Wake the fuck up. The Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. has been successfully destroyed and bulldozed, so there's no more of that. We told you that last week. And then I wanted to make sure that you remember, because sometimes you don't, but I wanted to make sure you remember how this all began really, really quickly, so then we'll get to solutions. Solutions are always over here. Oh, wait, before I get to solutions, here's some alarming, shocking things that happened this week. I want you to remember the 82-year-old Ned Johnson. His Social Security check was stopped. He also had $5,201 deducted from his checking account for payment on Social Security. He was declared dead. Yeah, he was declared dead. So they stopped his Social Security and then took $5,000 out of his bank account, just took it. And it took him 3 weeks and 4 hours on the phone with these people to get his benefits restarted. I wish I could say that was the only one. Let's talk shop. We got another one. James McCaffrey, the same thing happened to him. Listen to me. This is by design. The Commerce Secretary, the day that was reported on the news, the day or so before, was literally on television saying, well, what happens if we do stop the Social Security checks? Who's going to complain? The only people that are going to complain are the crooks and the thieves. That's what he said. Look it up. Ludnick is his name. Now, let's not forget what we've already learned. We've already learned that Elmo, the real president, and Peter Thiel and David Sachs were all born in South Africa, and they are bringing apartheid here. They are billionaires that have financed the last few campaigns. Peter Thiel specifically financed J.D. Vance's campaign here in Ohio for Senate and then for the VP. These guys were all together. They designed PayPal, the digital currency. They came up with that. Okay, so that was their baby. These guys, in addition to Elmo, Peter Thiel, and David Sachs, they all learn under this guy called Curtis Yarvin. And Curtis Yarvin and all of these guys in cahoots, listen to me, in cahoots with those big CEOs from Silicon Valley. You know what Silicon Valley is. That's another way to say social media and the internet, right? So the social media guys, right? The Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Threads, Instagram, and Facebook. I've been telling you about this the whole time. And then, of course, you have your Amazon guy, your Jeff Bezos, and you have all of these people that were at the inauguration and gave this jerk millions. Well, the plan is to use those owners of social media to miseducate the masses, collect our data to make it easier for them to target us, and design algorithms around us. We already knew this, but it's really important that you really know this. And therefore, they came up with this plan called RAGE. And this was a while ago. This was not just last month. RAGE stands for Retire All Governmental Employees, which is why all government employees are being fired. What is their goal? If we fire or retire all government employees, that is how we destroy democracy and put in literally autocracy, which means one person in charge, a king, if you will, and a tyrant, if you will. That is the goal. So that is where all this firing business is going. It's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. So when you look at these two guys that had their Social Security checks stopped, remember that 70 million people rely on Social Security. Those people are over the age or the age of 62 and or disabled. 40% of those people, of the 70 million, 40%, that's their sole source of support. So if you stop their check, you fuck them royally. 7,000 are to be fired from the Social Security offices, and numerous Social Security offices will be closed. And I will keep you updated with regards to Ohio and Cleveland, Ohio specifically. Now, I have this thing because I want to cover every single thing on my board. I put in the middle here, faith without works is dead. That's from the Bible, James 2:26, because I need you to tell me what your churches are doing, because I'm kind of disappointed with mine. So I need you to tell me what your churches are doing. Give me the name of your church and what they're doing, because this is an emergency. And we have always had in the past Black churches, brown churches, churches in general, white included, be right there with us in the fight. And I'm kind of worried about it. So I need you to tell me, because I fully believe faith without works is dead. Don't go telling me about the Bible and everything in it until you show me that you are ready to fight for what's right. Okay, so that's just a little side note. Now, before you get discouraged, because these are the solutions, but before you get discouraged, I have something to tell you that you may not have known. You would probably be led to believe that, you know, this president has this big mandate. You hear that. What is a mandate? A mandate means that so many people voted for me that I could do whatever I want and everything I do is going to be approved of. Well, don't get it twisted. There's quite a few people that are approving of everything he's doing right now, up to 47%. Okay, so, but I want to share with you, because slowly but surely, the tide is turning and people are getting angrier and angrier. And you saw that with the stock drop in Tesla. You saw that with the stock market drop because people are boycotting like crazy. You know how I knew you were doing a good job at your boycotting? They came out and said Nike's stock dropped because they're seeing that consumers are not buying like they usually do. I'm so proud of you. Please continue your boycott. But let me just tell you something to get you a little bit more excited here. Kamala Harris actually won more votes than Biden did in 2020. He does not have a mandate. No, he doesn't. He has some people that are very solid supporters, and we have some people that stayed their stupid asses home. And so we need to really get our asses up this time, because voting, our elections have consequences, and we're seeing the consequences every day, all day. Now, here's our thing. When you look at this side, it's a we, the people. We are in power. Don't get it twisted. We are still in power if we choose to use it. So how can we use it? Some of this stuff you just got to do. It's not like we have a negotiation. We just got to do it. Let's tackle that Social Security first, because I don't know about you, but this is pretty frightening when you stop people's checks and you do it on purpose. And it's way more than these two guys that ended up on the news. Here you go. Number one, Social Security. You need to check all your accounts, whether it's an investment account, a savings account, a checking account, any account you have, you need to check, because the thought of having $5,000 taken from it is crazy. And you need to make sure that the account attached to where your Social Security goes to has hardly any money in it. I told you before, take your money out of the banks. Get it out of there. Send it right on over to the credit unions, which are nonprofit, except don't go to Navy Federal Credit Union. All you have to do is look it up. There's an amazing amount of information in there about discrimination and how they would take two people, black and white, applying for mortgages with really great credit scores, and they'd give it to the white one, but not the black one, the loan to the, just look it up, okay? Don't believe anything I say. I need you to do your homework. Look this stuff up. I am not the end all and be all. I need you to do your homework. So take the money out the bank. I have been doing it. I am going to be doing it this week. I'm going to take another $1,000 out of that account, and I'm taking it right on over to the credit union. One of the credit unions I highly suggest, they are black owned. They are in Cleveland. If you're in another state, please put your credit union down in the comments. Help us out. 216-271-7111. 216-271-7111. For those of you in Cleveland, it's off of Buckeye. I go there. That's where my money is. It's where it'll always be. I need you to get in there. Number two, the Department of Education. You know that Cheeto Puff signed an executive action to kill it. You know that. But what does it really mean? Well, you may or may not understand that the Department of Education is responsible for all these community colleges. So I'm not sure where that's going to end up, but community colleges are going to take a hit. You don't hear that much, so I thought I'd bring that up to you. I need you to be understanding that if you shut down the Department of Education and you literally move everything to the state, then your job, moms and dads, are to be at that school board, all the school board meetings, and pay attention to what your kid is getting or not getting. Student loans have now moved to the Small Business Administration. Now, you need to know what that means, because I heard some things on Instagram and Facebook that were outright wrong. Let me help you with this. Do not suddenly get crazy, because we are not privileged, brown and black. Don't suddenly lose your damn mind and decide you're not going to pay your student loans. They don't need to go to court if you owe taxes or student loans. They don't need to go to court to take your property and take your bank account. You need to make sure you still pay your student loans. I have them automatically taken out of my account. I mean, it's just crazy. So have your student loans, keep paying them. Don't get crazy and then lost your mind on steroids, because trust and believe they will come after you. You don't get to do that, okay? You need to pay your taxes and your student loans. HBCUs. I already said this. My grandson understands it. My daughter gets it. There's no fucking way on God's green earth I'm giving any of my money to any college unless it's an HBCU. Period. I already told you to look into your high schoolers doing a dual track where they go to high school at a community college and get college credit for it. That's huge. Cut down on the cost. That's your Department of Education. I don't know if they're going to offer grants like Pell Grants or any of that shit. I don't think so, but whatever. Number three, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Medicaid is about to get just knocked the fuck out. What does that mean for you? While you have benefits, and that's a big assumption if you even have benefits, get your physicals done, your mammograms, your colonoscopy, your physical exams, your prescriptions, make them write your prescriptions for a year. Please do that. Make them write your prescriptions for a year, period. Consider an IUD. It's good for 10 years. These benefits are going to be gone. Bye-bye. Okay? Now, so get your physical and get healthy. Let's start walking. Let's take that Zumba class. Let's lose weight. Let's eat better. Come on now. You can do it. Sugar is the fucking enemy. It will kill you. It will cause you to get an amputation. It does kill your kidneys by way of diabetes. It does. So stop all this sugar. I told you, 60 years old. I just don't do the sugar. Okay? Stop it. The police. Hey, you heard them during the campaign saying, I'm going to give the police immunity. They can do what they want with these people. They can kill you. They can get away with it. They can do whatever. I posted a video on Facebook showing you how they honestly believe they can stop you for anything and arrest you for everything. And they don't need a whole lot of evidence to do it with. That's important for you to know, because I don't know about you, but everybody I know around here has seen more police. It's by design. Remember, those privatized prisons got to get full. Yeah, if you fill up the prisons, then the farmers will have free labor, because if you deport everybody, you're taking all the labor away from the farmers. And what you may or may not know is that if you get these privatized prisons going, there's your work. There's your labor source right there, because they work for what, $1 a month or something outrageous? Yeah, they do. So with the increased policing, the increase in private prisons, we have to get our shit in order in our house. Now, what I mean by that is, number one, when it comes to police, period, have your ID ready and have your real ID. Remember the deadline for real ID, which has a blue star in the upper right-hand corner. The deadline for this bad boy is May. You need to have a passport, not for the police, but because I believe things are going to get worse before they get better. And so if you need to get the fuck up out of here, you should have a way to do it. Get a passport for every member of your family before they won't let you. Think about it. Use your imagination on how bad this can be. Did you get that passport for your kids? Go to the library, South Euclid Library in our community, the public library while you can, because they're about to cut the funding for the libraries. If they didn't already yesterday, I don't know. I thought they said they were cutting the funding for the library. I don't remember what day it was effective, but they are cutting funds for the library, okay? It's a government-funded facility. Get in there and get those passports so you can pick up and leave. Have a to-go bag already packed like me. Have it ready. You don't know how bad or good this could get. I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. I went and took one of my teenage cousins and, of course, my grandson, who's soon to be a teenager. I took them to breakfast today. We not only had a good discussion about what's going on in their life, they got rewarded for their good grades. We talked about what's going on in current events. What does this mean? Coach, 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 teach, teach, teach. They had some homework that I gave them on Black history. Both of them have been given homework to watch Malcolm X. I gave them $5 to buy it off of Prime. Used to be on Netflix, but I think it ran out. So they have to watch it on Prime. Grab a kid. I don't care what kind of kid. It don't have to be your kid. In fact, it's better if it's not your kid. But grab you a teenager and influence, love, and be there for them so that they're not out in these streets and acting crazy. These guys had good grades in school, so they made over $100-some today. And I had a good breakfast with their crazy ass cousin. So you have a responsibility to grab you a teenager and love the shit out of them so that they're not doing anything and everything and being subject to getting arrested. Okay? Let's do it. Watch these curfews, parents. They're starting to get you, which is a good idea. They're starting to arrest you when your kid's out here acting crazy. Might be a great idea. I mean, I don't know what's going on with parenting. I'm kind of confused here. Vote, vote, vote. I know you think all hope is lost. It's not. Get your ass up and vote. Most of you who stayed home, you now fucked around and found out that was a bad idea. You now know to get up and vote, but we know that this guy is in here for 4 years. And so if everything is being dismantled on the federal level, you still have a state to vote for. So you get up and you vote early and often. And if you really want to know the truth about it, you should vote so much that about every 6 months to a year, you're at the voting booth. And I will remind you, I'll get on here and I'll tell you what to vote for, at least what I'm voting for. I can't tell you what to vote for. That's ignorant, but I will tell you what I'm voting for and why. Get out here and vote. Prosecutors and judges, do your homework before you get there. If you're anything like me, it's really hard to know who to vote for when they're judges and prosecutors, but these are who are going to determine whether your kid gets tried as an adult and all this other shit that they're trying to do. Coach, 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 coach everybody you know. Teach everybody you know. Share my videos with everybody you know. In fact, what did we say before? Stop sharing bullshit and share education. Don't make Zuckerberg more money sharing crap. Share, 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 because this stuff is putting my life at risk every time I get on here and talk about these jerk-offs. I don't give a shit. I have nothing to lose. I feel like if I don't do this, we're all dead. So get on here and share, share, share. Don't just, oh, that was a good video. Share. You need to do that. We need to share educational stuff and not bullshit. Pay your debt. I say it every video, but I'm not kidding. The borrower is slave to the lender. You need to owe no man nothing. There's a lot of power that goes with debt. When you have debt, you are obligated to work for these people and take their shit. When you have absolutely no debt, like I do, you can make choices. You can decide what you want to do. It's a powerful way to be. You can grab a plane ticket and get the fuck out of here for a break. You can take a cruise to get away from it all. Get rid of the debt, people. It is going to kill us. And you know that all of your protection about fees and interest rates and them going, and this is the other thing that I don't know if you know, your debt, any credit card debt that you have, please, because they're trying to hide it, please go find out what the interest rate is on each and every one of your cards. Do that now because they're raising it. They're just going to go crazy. They can, you know, they got rid of your protection, the CFDP, BP or whatever it is, CP Protection Bureau, whatever. Continue the boycott. Remember, it's called our #silent riot. I'm not buying nothing. I took my kiddos out to breakfast because they deserved it. And that was a big deal because I haven't been spending any money. And you know what? It feels good to see my accounts go up. When I'm not spending money and buying Amazon every 15 minutes, it feels kind of good to have a savings and an emergency fund. And don't forget, cash is king. So the way we do that is we have our 100 envelope savings program and we keep that cash right in our house. Cash is king. Get rid, oh my God, I'm so glad I looked up. Stop the digital currency. I say this all the time and sometimes you get confused. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Zelle. Get good at carrying money. Detach these digital currencies from your bank account. This is another way for them to take money out of your account and you're screwed, okay? So if you owe student loans or something like that, they can just take the money. Get rid of these digital currencies. Stop allowing them to make money on your money. And my students came in here this week and they knew cash is king. Cash only payments, please. I was so thankful because I mean, it's just the way it's got to be. I'm not going to make these people any more money. Okay, now, so pay your debt, continue the boycott. Oh, and don't forget to follow truth. What truth means is you're trying to follow people telling you the truth, and I wouldn't lie to you. So I have a list, and you guys helped me. You gave me some of these people, and I want to thank you. Here's the list. Rachel Maddow is #1. She always has been. She always will be. I know you want to boycott MSNBC. She's also on YouTube. I watch her on MSNBC at 9 o'clock at night. It's worth it. She's only going to be on there for the first 100 days of this idiot's presidency, and then she's gone. And every single day that she actually is on there, you learn stuff that you have to know, like the Social Security checks being stopped. Okay, so Rachel Maddow, #1. Follow her podcast. Follow everything Rachel Maddow. She is the shit. And she cares about Black people. Did I mention that? Roland Martin, if you're specifically wondering how does this affect the Black and the brown, Roland Martin's going to tell you. He's going to curse just like I do. He's a brother from another mother, and I love him. He's on YouTube. The Midas Touch is now one of my favorite YouTube channels to follow. This guy and these people are fucking amazing. Midas. MEIDAS Touch. And thank you to every one of you who told me about them. I follow them religiously. I wake up to them. I go to bed with them. Brian Tyler Cohen. He is also really good. He's on the YouTube channel as well. And you already know, if you are able financially to do it, I always spend a year's subscription. I pay for a year's subscription to the New York Times. They are the shit. And I set those alerts. I even have the CNN app. It's not because CNN is good. They're not. I put it on my phone because it's an easy app to put on your phone, and it will give you instant information that you need to know. So big alerts that are kind of like important, like the fact that the airport in London is shut down for 24 hours while there's a fire nearby. Wonder who set that and why. You feeling me yet? That kind of shit I kind of need to know. I got a couple flights planned to go through England, and I kind of would love to know that happened, and they give you the alerts. So you got a couple things to do. We have a couple challenges. Like I said, Jim Crow 2.0 is headed our way. I wanted you to know it. I wanted you to know what this jerk is doing, and I want you aware that we still have the power. God bless you, and deuces. See you at the Debt Repayment Boot Camp. We are here Sunday, tomorrow at 2 p.m. You know what it is. We're getting together. We're paying down debt. And then I have a surprise for you. And it's going to be so cool because it's going to give you lots and lots and lots of referrals for fixing your car, painting the house, landscaping, handyman repairs, everything you ever needed. I've got the team to help you with that. Deuces.